Welcome back, dear students. In this video I am going to discuss networked programs. Recall that in previous video I have been discussing network programs where I discussed how to connect to a particular web page and how to download the data and how to pass it. In today's video, so if at all that the page contains non-text like image or a video file, so we will see how to download such file. The data in the videos or images generally is not useful to print because it will contain a non-printable characters. So we can easily make a copy of such a URL in a local file such as a hard disk. And how can we make a local file of such a image or video? So that we'll see in today's discussion. The pattern is to open the URL and use read to download the entire contents of the documents into the string variable called image, then write that information to a local files as follows. So as usual, we are going to import a URL lib. Say this particular file is required to send a request, and URL lib is this module is required to parse, and this module is required to see the errors, right? Say here, using a URL request, the command is url lib dot request dot url open. Say here the link which particular file we want to open, so give that link. Dot read is going to read the data from this link. Recall that in previous video, say after reading this we printed the data, but here instead of, because this is a non-printable data, so instead of printing we are going to write the data that we are going to read directly to a file. So as usual, to write the data to a file, first we will open a file. Say this particular statement is going to open a file. The name of the file is cover3.jpg, and say it will be opened in a binary, means it will be opened in a write mode. That to B indicates a binary file, means a binary file is opened in a write mode. Okay, say once we open it, whatever the data that has been read from this particular URL, say it is stored in img, means image, so that will be written to the file using a method called fn.write. So finally close the file. Okay, so before we continue further, let us execute this program and see the result. So I already have typed this program. Directly I will show you that. Say this particular program is there in a folder called module 5. Say here, so the file name is, file name is image copy dot url lib dot py. This is the file name. So let me open this file. You can see this is the program to copy the URL to a local file on a hard disk, right? So as usual, whatever the program I have explained, it is there. And say before I execute this program, let me say open this particular URL in a browser and show you what it contains, so that it should be available in a directory. So and one more, dear students, before I execute, I will show you what it contains in this particular folder. Say if I use the command ls, look at this, there are only .py files in this particular folder. Okay, so what I do now, so I am going to show you the browser. Okay, in this browser, let me paste that URL and see what it contains. Okay, so here, so let me paste it, and so as it contains a image. This image is a cover page of our subject, Python for everybody, right? So and now this image should be downloaded to a file, right? say to a folder that say we are using, and the folder it is in a home folder. So if I say use a command here pwd, which stands for present working directory, so look at this, I am there in a folder called module 5, means this particular image should be downloaded, means whatever the image I shown in a web browser should be downloaded with the name cover3.jpg, right. So let us execute this program. So but dear students, remember one thing, before you execute this program your system should be connected to internet, otherwise you cannot communicate with that particular web page and the data cannot be downloaded, right. So to execute this program, what I do, so I am going to use a Python 3 interpreter, right. So let me see, it will take a little time because the whole image has to be downloaded, it is downloading it. So now it's over. So if I put a command ls, use a command ls, so it will going to list all the files and folders here. So you can see earlier this was not there, so here you can see cover3.jpg was not there, but now it is there, right. Even we can open and see this, okay, just go to a particular say folder and open this, you can open and see the image, right. So very simple thing, instead of what we have done in this particular program is, instead of displaying the data that has been read from this particular URL, that we directly return to a file, we opened a file, we wrote the data and close the file, very simple thing, right. So with this we'll continue further. So let us see, in this program we read all the data at a time across the network and stored it in a variable called img, okay. So and obviously this variable will be created in a main memory of the computer. So later we opened a file called cover3.jpg and wrote all the data in that particular file. Obviously that file will be created in a hard disk. The WB argument for open opens the binary file for write only mode, right. So this program will work if the size of the file is less than the size of the memory that is available on a computer, means basically the size of a RAM, because whole img, whole data we are going to read and store in a img, the variable called img. If the size of the memory that is available will be less than the RAM, means is less than the size of that file that we are downloading, then this particular program cannot be executed, means it will not download the file, the program will going to crash. However, if this is a large video or audio file, this program is going to crash and at least run extremely slow when the computer runs out of a memory. So in order to avoid such problems, means running out of a memory, we retrieve the data in a chunks, in a blocks we are going to retrieve and then write each block to the hard disk before retrieving the next block. So this way the program can read any size of file without using up all the memory of a computer. Means basically what we are going to do here is, in previous program whatever we have seen, we have read the total data irrespective of the size of that particular file. Say we read the total data and return, but if that particular size file is video or audio, say that cannot be directly returned to the, that cannot be directly read, so that the memory, because the memory available in a RAM will be lesser, normally it will be lesser. Let us consider if it is lesser, say the program will crash, otherwise it will going to run very slowly. Say to avoid that, what normally we do is, we are going to read a chunk by chunk, means a block by block, and write to a hard disk. So this is the program. So a little bit modification in the previous program. This is as usual. So this is to import the modules, okay. So a request module, then parse module and the error module. So later as usual we are going to open, but dear students, look at this. So the request here is to open this particular URL, but there is no .read. In previous case there was a read method here, but here just we are going to open this particular file, and after we open this, the file handle will be there in a img. What we do, we are going to open a one more file, means this we have opened here a link, and we'll open a one file called same cover3.jpg in a say binary write mode. Here initially the size will create a variable called size and initialize it to 0. Now what do we do? So we are going to read from this particular file handle. So this is a file handle for a socket, whatever the sockets it has, because that is the see, creation of socket is not required because we are directly using a URL lib. So that creation of socket will be taken care by this particular module, and it will going to return a file handle that is similar to a file handle of say normal file. Okay, now using img.read, say here we are reading this many say bytes of data. Okay, so once these many bytes of data will be read, so that will be stored in a say variable called info. Later say if the size of that info, means the length of that info is less than 1 byte, that means we have read all the bytes will come out of this while loop. Otherwise we'll add, like say for example initially the size is 0, we'll add this length, how many length we have read, that will be added to a size, and this information, whatever the information we have read, so that will be returned to the file. This will continue until the length of the information that we are going to read will be less than 1. Means whenever say the sender from other side has sent all the data, say here the read will going to read just a 0 bytes, then this particular while loop will terminate, and later say we are going to say close the file. So this we can print how many bytes we have read, means how many characters, basically characters here in indicates the bytes. Okay, because it is normally a non-printable characters. If we are downloading audio or video file, it will be non-printable characters. Let us consider it's a bytes in general term, so we will consider that as a bytes. Okay, so let me execute before we continue further. So let me execute this program and show you the output. So here this I have already typed the program. The program name is image underscore copy underscore URL lib underscore good.py. So look at this, the same program is there. Here we are downloading these many bytes of data, right? So now, so if we see here, let me execute this. To execute this particular file, I am going to use a command called python3, right? So now it is going to download, and you can see it has copied say about 2,30,210 characters. So that means this particular loop has run how many times? 3 times. Once 1 lakh, second time 1 lakh, means 2 lakhs, and third time say remaining characters. If at all we want to see, even we can print the size here. So what I will do, for your information, I am going to print the size every time. So let me use a print statement and print the size here. So the size, so every time how many bytes it is going to read, that we will get it. Let me execute this once again. See, now you can see first it has read 1000, later 1 lakh, later 2 lakhs, means say how much is that? 2 lakhs means 1 lakh one more, and later say this is 2 lakh, the total is 2,30,000, means remaining 30,210 bytes has been read at the end, means in a chunks of 1 lakh, 1 lakh and 30,210, right? So in 3 iteration this loop has been executed, right? So whenever, so this approach we can adopt whenever the file size is very higher. So normally we adopt this approach say to download any of the audio or video files, right? So with this, let me continue here, right? So in this example we have read only say 1 lakh characters at a time, so that's even more than enough actually. Okay, and we stored the whatever the characters we have read to a file, we opened a file and we wrote that. Okay, say this programs as you have seen, say it has copied 2,30,210 characters, right. One of the common uses of URL lib capability in Python is to scrape the web. Okay, so this scraping web means say going through the peeking into the all the web pages of the website. Okay, web scraping is when we write a program that pretends to a web browser and retrieves the pages, then examines the data in those pages looking for the patterns. Means what is web scraping is, it is something like a, so opening a page, it's a program which will open a, say it's something like a web browser which will opens a page, means it will retrieve the page, and what are all the data it is there in a that particular file or page, it will going to say look into the pattern. As an example, a search engine such as a Google will look at the source of the one web page and extract the links to other pages and retrieve those pages, extracting the links and so on. Say this example, say if you remember, I had told beginning of this lecture, beginning of the classes, in one of the introduction class of this particular module, I told that say the important application of this module is making a use of a means this particular concept is used in a search engine, where the search engine the application called web scraping, it will going to, if it will going to log into a particular website, in that page how many links are there, into every link it will go, and whatever the data is there in that particular link, it will extract and store in its database. Okay, using this technique, Google Spider, the application, the name of that application is Google Spider. It's a way through nearly all the passing of means pages of web, that Google Spider, say once whenever it will going to see the new link, it will go to that link, it will parse all the say pages in that and stores in its database. Okay, so Google also uses a frequency of links from pages. It finds that a particular page as one measure of how important a page is and how high a page should appear on its search results. Dear students, you might have seen when you are going to search a particular word or a sentence, let us consider you are going to search a particular word, Google is going to give so many links for that. The first, how those links will be provided is based on the ranking given by a Google. Say for example, if you look at the first link, the meaning is that in that particular web page or website, this particular word appears many times. Because of that, so not only even this, there are so many other criteria, but one of the criteria to give the ranking in that list is this, how many times a particular word appears. For that purpose, it will going to use this frequency, means how many times that word appears in that page, and even it will going to say record that in its database. Okay, say one simple way of way to parse a HTML is to use regular expression to repeatedly search and extract the substrings. Okay, so if you see here, this is a simple example of a web page. Here, dear students, if you are not familiar with HTML, just say look at this. This is very simple, because the HTML later you can even search to an example of a HTML page. So this H1 indicates header. Okay, say this is the start of the header and this is the end of the slash H1 indicates end of the header, and the say here this is the header, the title of the header is the first page, and P indicates a paragraph. Within a paragraph you can write say, I mean this is the normally, and this href indicates the link, means in this web page there is a link to another web page. That's what a website is, nothing but a say collection of web pages which are linked together. Might be a page 1 which is a home page of some website, will be connected to a page, web page 2, web page 10, web page 7, any number of pages. Even in term web page 7 might be connected to web page 2, web page 3. So like say intermediate connections will be there using these links, right. We can construct a well formed regular expression to match and extract a link values, such as say this link. means what we do using a regular expression, we try to extract all the links in a particular web page. Now we are going to write a program, a Python program. Say to that Python program, that Python program is going to accept a link, and using that link, it should list all the links available in that particular page. Okay. So for that purpose, the expression will be something like this: href, because here href is there, equals, and later, so after double quote, http, and s is optional. Dear students, here putting s inside the square bracket and the question mark indicates that 1 or 0 or more s, nothing but, so the website might be http or https. https indicates a secure website, nothing other than that, right? For say to both the websites, it is going to parse. Let us see here. Okay, so our regular expression looks for a string that starts with href equals and http, say colon double slash, okay, so or say https followed by one or more characters. That dot plus question mark indicates one or more characters, right, and later followed by another double quote. Okay, so the question mark behind the s indicates to search a string that is http followed by 0 or 1s, as I told, right. The question mark added to dot plus question mark indicates that the match is to be done in a non-greedy fashion instead of a greedy fashion. Dear students, already we have seen what is greedy fashion and non-greedy fashion. So non-greedy fashion means it will try to match smallest possible matching string, whereas a greedy matches a largest possible matching string. Okay, so I hope this is clear. While discussing a regular expression, we have discussed about the greedy and non-greedy fashions, right. So we add parenthesis to extract a regular expression. Like say for example, if at all I am going to add a parenthesis, only that particular expression will be extracted and stored in a means returned to the user. Okay, let us write the program for the same. Okay, so this is the program, dear students. Okay, so this will going to search a links. Okay, for say search for links values within a URL. So as usual, say we are going to say import all these modules, and because we are going to use a regular expression, we also import RE, say import RE, and this SSL indicates this is a secure socket layer. Say which is SSL stands for secure socket layer. So this is a module we are going to use whenever say we are going to connect with a secured website. Okay, dear students, these three particular statements are used to communicate with the SSL layer. Okay, so use these statements as it is as on now. Okay, so here say URL, say first we will ask the user to enter a URL. Once the user is going to enter the URL, say we are going to read it using a statement called urllib.request.url open. Say this is the URL entered by a user, and this will be say context is equal to CTX. This is as per the say SSL certificate. Okay, say dot read means we are going to open this URL and read the data stored in this particular variable. The name of the variable I have taken here is HTML, right. Later say from this we should extract the links. Say here we are using a re.findAll in this particular variable called HTML. So we want to extract, say we look for a href means a links like this, link which look like href is equal to http or https, then colon, then double slash, then here one or more characters. We will look for such a expression, but out of that we will extract only this http from right from http to say website name. Okay, so for all the links in a links, later such links will be extracted and every link will be decoded and printed. Okay, so what we do before I proceed further, let me execute this program and show it to you. So the name of the program here is, say this is search links. Okay, so the name of the file is searchlinks.py. Okay, the same program whatever I have explained is here. So let me execute this program with Python 3 interpreter, right. Say enter the URL name. So what I do, dear students, first I will go to some web browser. Okay, so let me give some URL. Say here the URL that I am going to use is karnatakatourism.org. Okay, say whatever the links are there in this particular page, all the links should be shown in our program. Let us see here. So let me go to the terminal, right. Say here, and this is the link, right. So now it will going to connect to this particular link and download all the links from that. So let us see what is the result of this particular file. So now you can see, say how many links only, see look at this dear students, this is only the front page, nothing but a home page of a Karnataka tourism. Say if you see here, say in a web page, I will show you the web page again. So this is the front page of a Karnataka tourism. So this particular page, so it as contains so many links to other pages. Which are all the links that say we have listed in this particular program. Let's see how many links are there. So later you can count it, say once you execute, but there are so many links, as you can see, say so many links are there. Okay, so even see, look at this, one of the link is to Twitter, and even one of the link is there to Facebook also, even YouTube also there is a link, Instagram, Flickr, so many. Say this particular website has a link to so many other particular websites. Okay, so it's a very simple program, say which you can see here. Okay, so once again, say just look into the program, say open that particular URL. Okay, say read the content and store in a variable. Say later, so after storing that in a variable, so what we are going to do is we are going to find this particular expression. Dear students, it will try to find the expression which will start with href, but out of that we are going to extract only from HTTP. That's what in a terminal you can see all the websites have been listed with HTTPS or HTTP. So one of the important thing that you can notice here is, I think almost all are HTTPS, which indicates secure websites. Okay, if any websites is with HTTP, it's not secure, means SSL security it will not follow. So there is a one website you can see here. So there is a one website. Okay, so this website is with, even Redbus is also HTTP. You can see Redbus is HTTP, KSRTC.in is HTTP. So many even HTTP websites are there. Okay, right. Okay, the SSL library allows this program to access the websites that restrict to enforce HTTPS. Okay, the read means if the website is only a secure, then this SSL library is going to say give the permission to access that with the strict enforcement of HTTPS. Okay, the read method returns a HTML source code as a bytes object instead of returning a HTTP response object. Means whatever the read method is there along with this SSL model. Okay, so this is going to return a byte objects, so that it will be very easier for us to parse it. The find all regular expression method give us a list of all the strings that match our regular expression, returning only the link text between the double quote. So when we executed the program, we have seen something like this. Okay, regular expressions work very nicely when HTML is well formatted and it is predictable. But since there are lot of broken HTML pages, a solution only using regular expression might either miss some of the valid links. Like dear students, if there may not be any HTTP before a particular link, such things you can see in terminal. Say if we go to terminal, here it has listed say only those links which will start either with HTTP or HTTPS. But apart from these, there will be so many even other links which doesn't start with HTTP or HTTPS. Such links we have this using this regular expression we have not say got those links, means the regular expression is unable to catch all those links. Then what is the solution? The solution can be solved by using a library called HTML parse. Okay, so we use a HTML parsing library. Okay, so there is a library called a beautiful soup. So that particular library we use to solve the problem. Okay, even though HTML looks something like XML, some of the pages are carefully constructed to be XML. Most HTML is generally broken in ways that cause a XML parser to reject the entire page of the HTML. Okay, means if the HTML is not properly formatted, then such pages will be rejected by a program which we are going to design using a regular expression. There are number of Python libraries which will help us to parse HTML and extract the data from the pages. Okay, each of the libraries has its own strength and weaknesses. As an example, in this particular module, we will simply parse some HTML input and extract the links using a library called Beautiful Soup. Okay, so the name of the library that we are going to use is a Beautiful Soup. Okay, so which tolerates highly flawed HTML and still let us easily extract the data we need. Okay, so even say dear students, to use this particular say library, so we should download it and install. Okay, so what you can do, so you can use this particular link to download and install. Say what I do, say this particular link I will give in a description, you can easily download and install it. Okay, and information for the installing a Beautiful Soup with Python package index tool is also available in this particular link. So this also I will share with the description so that you can easily access the description of how to install a Beautiful Soup, right. So what we do, let us write a program to use a URL lib to read a web page and then use Beautiful Soup to extract the href, means link attributes. Means here dear students, instead of just a HTTP, so means whatever is there within a anchor tags, means the tag which will start with A and end with say, so which we call it as anchor. If you are familiar with HTML, no, so you will be familiar with this particular terminology called anchor tags. Okay, so very simple dear students. So what we have done here, imported all the modules required, and apart from that, say to import to use a Beautiful Soup, we are supposed to import from a BS4 import Beautiful Soup. Okay, and import HTML SSL. Later these three statements, it will going to ignore the SSL certificates, and if a particular website is going to use a SSL, then it will help us to communicate. Okay, then as usual, ask the user to enter a particular link, nothing but a page, URL page, and we will read the URL page, and later, so instead of using a RE, means a regular expression, here we are using a Beautiful Soup. Okay, so a function called a Beautiful Soup. Okay, so whatever we have read here, it's been stored in a HTML, a variable called HTML. Say to that, say we are going to write, say look at this HTML.parser, means it will going to parse the HTML, right. So once it will parse the HTML, it will be stored in a soup, a variable called soup. Okay, so later, say in that variable we are going to extract. Okay, so retrieve all the anchor tags. The anchor tags will be with a label A. Okay, so it will going to extract all the anchor tags and store in a variable called tags. Later for every tag in a tags, we are going to print all the anchor tags. Very simple program. So what I do, so I am going to execute this program and show you the output, so that you will understand the difference between using a regular expression and a Beautiful Soup, right. So let me directly execute this program. So this program is the name of the program is get parts, no, not that, search links. The name of the program is search links using Beautiful Soup, stands for beautiful soap, right? So this is the program, dear students. Okay, the same program I'll execute now using Python 3 interpreter. Obviously it will ask a website, the same website. What is the website that I have used? Let me use the same website. It is karnatakatourism.org, right? Now here, let's wait. It is extracting. Now you can see, dear student, it has extracted so many links which are more than, even look at this. So it has even just extracted a hash, and even see, look at this, it has extracted something like a JavaScript. Okay, so many others. Say, look at this. Say, so many things which were not there. Say, you can see here. Okay, right? I hope this is clear to all of you. The program prompts for a web address, then opens the web page, reads the data and passes it to the beautiful soap. Okay, that particular parser, what it does, it will going to retrieve the all the anchor tags and prints the attributes of that tag. Okay, whatever the attribute is there in that tag, it will going to print, right? So when the program runs, we got something like this. Okay, so even if we say https docs.python.org, say what I do, once again I will just run this program and show you with a different URL. The URL that I am going to use this time is, yes, what I do initially using RE. So there was one program, the program is Python 3 search links.py. So this is using RE, this particular program is using RE. To this I am going to give a say web page, http docs.python.org. So let us see how many pages it will going to return. So dear students, this is using RE, means regular expression. It has returned only these many links. Now the same link I will give as an input to the program that we have written using beautiful soap. So now if I give this, the same thing, say this particular link itself I will give as an input, right? Now you can see, say at least here, dear students, there is nothing like a copyright.html. That particular file is not there. Say when we that particular link is not there when we extracted it using regular expression. You can see all the expression just started with HTTPS. There is no copyright link here, but you can see here, dear students, there are so many other links like about.html, bugs.html, search.html, copyright.html, so which have been extracted using a beautiful soap. I hope now everything is clear to you, right? So let us continue with the beautiful soap. So this is what, say what we can do is one more thing. The list is much larger. Whenever we used beautiful soap, that list is much longer because some HTML anchor tags are a relative path. The relative path indicates, say wherever the web page is there, from that page it will going to give the path, that we call it as a relative path. And absolute path, one more path indicates absolute path. Okay, so that absolute path indicates from the home page you should give the a link, that is the absolute path, right? So that's what the requirement for regular expression means was it should start with HTTP, but here because there were no such requirements, because of that you got so many other links, right? We can use beautiful soap to pull out various parts of each tag. like just we have pulled out a anchor tag. Apart from anchor tag, there are so many other tags. Okay, so we can pull out the content of a means attributes of all the tag. For that purpose, dear students, up to this the program remains same. Here tags is equal to soup. It will going to whatever we have extracted from a beautiful soup, that will be given as an input to this soup function. It will going to extract all the anchored tags, and in that, so we are going to print the tag content and even say the reference, whatever the links are there to other pages, that reference we are going to extract, and the content of that tag we are going to extract, and the attributes of the tag we are going to extract. So all these things are their terminologies in HTML. Okay, so if you just look into any HTML page, the source code of that HTML page, you can see all these attributes there. So what I do, so I'll execute this program and see and show you what is the output. Say here the name of the program is get parts. Okay, so this is the program we will execute using Python 3 interpreter. So if I execute this, you can see, so not only it will extract the content, links, apart from that it has extracted, like say for example contents, what type of content it is, it's a documentation. Here the content is copyright. Okay, say here, say attributes, the reference to this. Okay, so you can see URL, say so many times it has given what type of URL. So attributes, the title means this is a title, and this particular title give the reference to this. Okay, so once you execute this program, you can just go through this output so that you will understand everything. If at all you get any doubts, you can ask the doubts so that I will clarify all your doubts, right? So I hope this is clear to all of you. So try to execute all the programs and see the output. With this, we'll stop today and continue in next class. Thank you for watching.